Love your suit. You have like a Conor McGregor look going on there.
Oh, of course you guys went there.
We're mailing it in. Bo Levi Mitchell is not. And I guess that's not the first he's heard that. That's why he said that. He's like, yeah, I get that all the time.
Yeah, if he went with full, thick, lustrous beard, he'd be a dead ringer for Conor McGregor.
And why are we talking to the Stamps QB? Well, I guess you'll find that out a bit later in the show.
That's a tease. That's a show tease.
You know what Thursday was in America?
The Thanksgivings?
Yes. Again, we discussed this with our crew the other day because we lived down there for 4 years.
Yes.
They do it right because it's Thanksgiving's on the Thursday.
And then you have 3 days to just hang out.
Yeah. Because in Canada, again, Thanksgiving in Canada is great, but you can have it on Saturday, you can have it on Sunday, you can have it on Monday.
Yeah. Why do you hate Canada, Dan? I agree with you, Dan. They do Thanksgiving right. You and I are on the same page there. Dan, there are always 3 NFL football games on Thanksgiving Thursday in the U.S., and this is one of them. A divisional matchup between the Falcons and Saints. Drew Brees to Tommy Lee Lewis. TD pass number 26 for Brees this season after a Matt Ryan fumble. Brees picked off by DeMonte Casey. Led to an Atlanta field goal. Just the 2nd interception for Brees this season. Next New Orleans possession, Brees to tight end Ben Watson, who drops it. Saints were forced to settle for a field goal. Late in the quarter, Brees fakes the handoff and finds a wide-open Austin Carr. Final minute. Falcons down 17-3. Matt Ryan to Julio Jones. First hit by Marshawn Lattimore, then Alex Anzalone. That knocks the ball out. The Falcons come up empty. The Saints lead 17-3 at the break. TD pass number 3 for Brees in the game. Saints up 24-3. Falcons close the gap to 14. Matty Ice. That's just bad luck. Picked off by A.J. Klein. Atlanta turned it over 4 times on Thursday. And then Brees to Keith Kirkwood. All 4 players who caught touchdowns for the Saints, undrafted free agents. Saints take it 31-17. They continue to roll. Here is Drew Brees on his arsenal of receivers.
The NFC East, as per usual, in focus on American Thanksgiving. And boy, is this division garbage, which means the matchup between Washington and Dallas monumental, as Dallas could walk away tied with Washington for the division lead, both with a record 1 game over 500. That's it. Dallas trailing Washington by 1 game in the NFC East. Washington, they've already beat the Cowboys this season. Opening drive, Dallas, Ezekiel Elliott, 16-yard touchdown run. He finishes it. Has a $21 donation for the Salvation Army. Now, it's not the first time he celebrated with the kettle. In December 2016, he jumped in it. He later donated $21,000. So the $21 in relation to his number and that donation, it all commingles. Third quarter, Cowboys trailing. Dak Prescott to Amari Cooper. His 2nd touchdown with the Cowboys. His celebration is taking a page out of Markelle Fultz by imitating how he takes free throws. Guess who was watching? Fultz chimed in on Snapchat. People still use Snapchat? So he posted that. Cowboys up 17. That 90-yard touchdown is the longest catch of Cooper's career, also the longest completion in Prescott's career. Elliott established himself with a kettle earlier in the game. This time he put Prescott inside it. Prescott's like, okay, once he lifted me up, I said, I'll do it the rest. I don't want to get hurt. Prescott got flagged. Late 4th, Washington down 11. Jordan Reed takes a huge hit as he received the ball. Xavier Woods helmet on helmet. There was no call on the play. Reed throws his helmet, chase down the ref. Cowboys take it 31-23. How about those kettle celebrations?
Our stats guy, Hound Dog Harrison, has compiled this NFC playoff picture. The Saints keeping pace with the Rams for that #1 seed. Remember, the Saints hold the important head-to-head tiebreaker. The Cowboys leapfrog Washington for first in the East based on a better win percentage in division games. And how about the Bears after starting 3-3, 5 straight wins, the last 3 coming against division opponents?
When your leader is one of your hardest workers and one of your best fighters, you fight with him. We are all witnesses right now.
He's inspiring his teammates, making everyone around him better.
He likes the fact that people have their doubts.
Most outstanding player could be his this year, the way it's looking.
Jeremiah Masoli started his CFL career in Edmonton, didn't play it down for the Eskimos, but he was back in Alberta's capital Thursday night as the East nominee for the league's most outstanding player, going up against 2016 MOP, Bo Levi Mitchell.
And the award for 2018 Most Outstanding Player goes to
Bo Levi Mitchell.
Mitchell is the CFL's most outstanding player for the second time in his career. The other honor coming 2 years ago, as I mentioned. Mitchell leading the CFL with 35 TD passes, the most touchdowns by any quarterback in the league since 2012. Also threw for over 5,000 yards, leading the Stamps to a 13-5 record. And joining us now is the 2018 most outstanding player, Bo Levi Mitchell. First of all, Bo, you look fantastic. The suit is perfect, so compliments to your wife who helped you put that together. Let's talk about 2016 compared to now. Statistically, it was a similar season. Was this a harder season for you, though, with the injuries to all your receiving core?
Well, Jay, Dan, first off, I want to thank you for having me on the show. Make sure you fill up one of those giant, oversized Tim Hortons cups that I know y'all have nothing inside of. And, of course, you went to the receiver question because I just told you not to. But, yeah, it's been a great year. 2016 was an amazing year, and I thank all my receivers for all the work they've put in this year.
Bo, I'd just like to point out, we have some liquid in these mugs.
I don't have any in mind. Your MLP season has led the
I knew you
Stamps.
didn't.
Yeah, I know. I know. My mom pointed that when I was putting the hockey cards in my mug when we were opening hockey cards. Okay, so your MLP season has led the Stamps to the Grey Cup. What's this week been like for you? I guess you're kind of used to it now, or is it still like, okay, do I have to answer this question again?
Yeah, well, I think Wally said it best. You know, these times don't happen, few and far between. It's not easy to get to this game. It's very hard to win in the CFL, but I'm the first to know that this right here does not create a championship. It's not about one player. It's about an entire team putting together an effort on Sunday that a relentless focus effort, 100% of the time until the clock hits 0. So if we can do that, then we can put together a great game and hopefully hold that cup over our head.
Bo, I feel bad about asking you about the receiving core earlier, so I'm going to switch it up. I want to ask you kind of an unusual question here. On Sunday, because you've been through a few Grey Cups, what is your pregame routine? Like, we want to know what your favorite pregame meal is. Take us through Sunday leading up to the game for you.
Yeah, well, Saturday night is going to be chicken parm. The wife's been making me chicken parm for about 7 years now. It's my favorite meal. It's my go-to superstitious meal before the game. I wake up in the morning, she makes me a breakfast, basically just an egg sandwich. Stuff a bunch of croissants together, throw some eggs in there. Then I basically don't eat the rest of the day. Just like to stuff myself in the morning, and then just kind of let the stomach settle after that. And then, yeah, just throw the headphones on, go over the game plan again, take a nap. And then once you get to the stadium, just feel confident about everything, throw some music on, throw some tunes on, think about the family a little bit. And then when the clock begins to roll and that first kickoff happens, just erase the crowd, erase everything else, and just go out there and play football.
And what is on the headphones, Bo? What's on the headphones? What music?
Oh, man, everything. To your disappointment, there's no Bieber. There's a little bit of Drake.
Okay.
Yeah, J. Cole. I mean, anything and everything, honestly. If it's good music, I'll listen to it. Doesn't matter if it's Taylor Swift or Kid Cudi or whoever. You know, I'll listen to whoever's out there, and if they got a good song and it gets me in the mood, then I'll listen to it.
And you mentioned chicken parm. We work with a guy whose nickname is Chicken Parm. Ray Ferraro ate chicken parm the night before every single game in the NHL, right?
Yeah, that's true, though he never won a Stanley Cup. So stop the chicken parm. Stop the chicken parm.
Oh, that's
go
all
with
right.
something
We won
else.
a Grey Cup in 14, so I think I can erase that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Listen, it's awesome having you on the show finally, and best of luck on Sunday, my friend. We know it's going to be a terrific game.
Thank you, Jay and Dan. Appreciate you guys having me on the show, and throw a little something extra stronger in that cup for Sunday to keep you warm.
Yeah.
Will do.
Now we're talking. That'll be ice cold Coors Light. The other notable CFL awards. Brad Sinopoli, pride of Peterborough, Ontario, went to Crestwood. He was named the most outstanding Canadian for the second time in his career, the other time back in 2015. Wideout had a career-high 1,376 yards, leading the CFL with 116 receptions, a single-season record by a Canadian.
I want to thank my teammates, especially the guys in the receiving room who make it fun every single day we go into work. I want to thank Trevor Harris for throwing me the ball, even though sometimes I'm not sure why he does.
Adam Bighill, the league's most outstanding defensive player. Second time Bighill has earned the award, but the first he's done it as a member of the Bombers. Other was with the Lions. This season, the veteran linebacker had 105 tackles, 4 sacks, and led the league in forced fumbles.
I think that's a hallmark of the CFL. To judge you by the strength of what your game tape and your film says about you, you're not where you went to school or what your measurables are. And I think a lot of us in this room can really be thankful for that.
And Saskatchewan's Chris Jones picked up his first Coach of the Year honor. In his third year since joining the Riders, Jones helped guide the team to a 12-6 record. Riders' best mark in a season since Jones took over as head coach of the team.
It's a big honor. Again, I accept this award. It ain't about me, I can assure you. I've got just a tremendous staff. You got to remember our fans that are here. We got a great group. Rider Nation's outstanding.
He needs to get into the voiceover industry. His voice is just,
It's great.
you hang on every word.
It'd be great for like a Western.
Lewis Ward was a 2-time winner, taking home rookie and special teams honors after making 98% of his field goals. A year ago, he worked as a security guard at TD Place while going to school in Ottawa. Coming up, Saturday is going to mark 4 weeks since Austin Matthews last played. Will he return to the lineup this weekend? Oh, we'll tell you. The Toronto Raptors have the best record in the NBA at 15-4. You can see them on Tangerine Raptors basketball Friday night against the Wizards, where every player is for sale.
Everyone. It's kind of cool because you can see who might be available. Maybe the Raps will pick someone up. 115th edition of the Egg Bowl between Mississippi State and Ole Miss. Third quarter, Matt Corral finds A.J. Brown, who somehow gets into the end zone. But then this is where it gets interesting. So there's a fight for the ball. Then there's just a fight. Jonathan Abram, top of your screen. These two guys, okay. Slaps Brown. Brown slaps him back. Corral, that's the quarterback number 2. His helmet gets ripped off. Both teams were eventually separated, but they continue to jaw at each other, and all 4 players were ejected, 2 from either team. The touchdown was reviewed and didn't count because they didn't get the snap off before the play clock ran out. I mean, you don't really care about the score anyway, do you?
Is that within the realm?
I mean, not really that important.
Yeah, I think the refs, every second they aren't on the field, they're just pumping
Well,
out.
everyone's following the Ed Hockley workout plan. Ed Hercules. Missed that guy. Every sportscaster's jacked now, too. You, me, Kelsey Braid. We're just 2 days away from the Grey Cup. And on Thursday, both teams faced the media for the final time before Sunday's game. For Ottawa, the Red Blacks will be looking to Trevor Harris to repeat his record-setting 6 TD performance in the East Final. There you go. Here's your quarterback matchup, Toolsy. Bo Levi, your 2018 most outstanding player against a could not be hotter Trevor Harris.
So I wonder who we're going to have. Are we going to have the MVP on our show Sunday night? Because we're on after the Grey Cup.
Yeah, if you're watching the Grey Cup, just leave it on TSN and you'll see us eventually. And yeah, I assume we'll have...
Tim just confirmed we'll have the MVP
We'll have the
live.
MVP live via satellite. And then I'm sure we'll have several other interviews throughout the course of the hour.
It's almost here. 106th Grey Cup goes Sunday from Edmonton. Show begins at 1 Eastern. Kickoff just after 6. It's across the TSN network.
Okay, now for the rest of the stories you need to know, it's time for the newsreel. A Canadian team trade. The Sens traded Chris Weidman to the Oilers for a 6th rounder in 2020. The 28-year-old defenseman appeared in 19 of the Sens' 22 games this season, scored 2 goals, added 3 assists. Weidman set to become an unrestricted free agent at season's end.
Yes,
he was in the Uber.
Yeah, people are like, was he in that?
Yeah, he was in the Uber, but I think this is actually a good opportunity for Weidman because he's expected to get some power play time, so maybe a chance to jump on that power play with McDavid and Draisaitl and all those guys should be good for him. Sticking with the Sens, their plan to build a new arena on LeBreton Flats could be in jeopardy. The National Capital Commission is the Crown Corporation responsible for the land at LeBreton Flats. They were advised Thursday, not to move forward with the development plans because of unresolved issues between 2 key members of the Rendezvous LeBreton Group, Sens owner Eugene Melnick and Trinity Developments executive John Ruddy. If the issue is not resolved by the next board meeting in January, the NCC will likely move on.
Do you want a quote from Ottawa Mayor Jim Watson?
Yeah.
This is a quote and a half. Regarding Melnick and the Trinity Group, quote, "They have to get their act together, plain and simple."
I thought we were past this, but I guess we're not. But we're right there, guys. We're so close. Don't let it fall apart now.
Claude Julien says Shea Weber could make his season debut Tuesday night against the Hurricanes. Weber hasn't played since December 16th due to foot and knee injuries. He collected 16 points in 26 games last season. We've mentioned this before. This is like an in-season trade without making a trade.
It is true. He's been skating and shooting practice, as you mentioned, Dan, but he's not been cleared for contact. Matt Murray's been placed on injury reserve with a lower body injury. Murray has been dealing with this injury for the past couple of weeks, and it shows in his stats: a 4.08 goals against, an .877 save percentage. No current timetable for his return.
So you got Casey DeSmith in net along with young Tristan Jarry.
Yes, Pierre Lebrun gave him that nickname.
The Flames placed forward Michael Frolik and defenseman Michael Stone on injured reserve Thursday. Frolik missed Wednesday's game with a lower body injury. Stoner gonna miss time with a blood clot in his arm.
Ooh.
That was discovered Thursday morning. That's nothing to play with. Those are terrifying.
Blood clots in general are so terrifying.
Yeah.
Ken Hitchcock's debut, successful one on Tuesday as head coach of the Oilers, a 4-3 win over the Sharks in OT. The team seems to be responding well early on to their new bench boss, specifically a message that he had for the group.
One bad thing happens, and guys can get down and frustrated, and then kind of turns into a 5-minute lull, and you can't have that in this league. So bad things are going to happen. Things are going to get messed up, and you got to be okay with that and move on.
I always call it second or third effort, but that's how you win in the NHL. If you have a team that has third effort, you got gold, and it starts at practice. Things aren't going to go right. I'm a big believer when I run practices. I want the players to correct it, and after we coached or barked, one of those two, they started correcting it themselves, and that's what I'm looking for.
Good to see the Oilers finally got him some Oilers gear. I thought Hitch was going to have to do a practice in khakis and like a knit sweater.
I like that idea, like Robbie Ftorek back.
Oh, in yesterday's show, I direct messaged Connor McDavid for an intro of the top 10. Still no response. Okay. After Austin Matthews hurt his shoulder on October 27th, The star center was expected to be out for at least 4 weeks, with Matthews sporting a red no-contact jersey during Thursday's practice. Although he does make contact here with players, right there, he's expected to miss a little more time.
Just, taking my time, making sure everything comes back all right, and I'm feeling pretty good out there right now, and still have a bit of a ways to go. Like you said, I want to get back into full practice without that red jersey and take some bumps.
Someone in Canada must have a spot-on Mike Babcock impression.
Darren Dreger. Yeah, Gus himself. He has a great one. Though I don't know how often he will do it. We might have to pay him.
It's the Leafs and Jackets. Friday, Molson, Canadian Leafs hockey.
Now, during pre- and post-game media availability, NHL dressing rooms, they get packed. You know it, Dan. You've been there. You've been in the front lines. Sometimes reporters are forced into the background to get the best sound bites. You're going to see it in everyone's favorite segment in the press box, NHL Scrum Lurkers.
Being so tired, my mind wasn't working too sharp, so just tried to skate as much as I could.
Scrum Lurkers. Something in the coffee table? Yeah.
Someone's been playing with our table.
When we come back, we'll tell you who's been playing with our table.
But it's like a stain.
It's the USA Thanksgiving edition of the Yannies. Bears beat the Lions in the early U.S. Thanksgiving Day game. Chase Daniel to Anthony Miller. Back to Daniel, who runs it for the first down. Chase Daniel picks up the win.
Charleston, LSU, Naz Reid. Hoop. Vicious slam.
A lot of people sent this goal to us on Twitter. Kingston and Peterborough, Nick Robertson. One of 8 goals for the Petes on the night, and that is beautiful, courtesy of Kojika.
I think he had a hat trick, too. Texas Kerwin Roach blows by the defender and goes up strong for the one-hander. I think I said Texas Kerwin Roach.
Dak Prescott chased out of the pocket. I don't know if you saw the jacket he was wearing earlier in the show, in the post-game press conference. The lapels were positively Herb Tarlick-like.
Trey Thurman, this is Tulsa, Nevada. Goes baseline up and under, puts some English on it. Hey, governor! So, I have a question.
Yeah, Dan, ask away.
You have all that college basketball, you have the NFL games.
Yeah.
But nothing in the NHL.
Yeah, I guess they decide to take the day off because they...
But you can play games in Canada.
Why. I don't get why. Yeah. I don't get it.
Yet another
But then
confusion.
they play on Grey Cup Sunday.
Yeah.
You've been waiting for it for a while. Tiger Woods versus Phil Mickelson, their head-to-head battle on pay-per-view. You can order it right now on Bell 5, Satellite, or Alt TV. Usually boxing and UFC are featured on pay-per-view, but this heavyweight battle between Tiger and Phil, it'll also be a fight for the ages. And it's being promoted that way.
This Friday, it's the landmark, once-in-a-lifetime, 37th time they played each other. The match, Tiger versus Phil. It's a grudge match, and all hell is about to break loose.
I've always enjoyed knowing the fact that I was going against Phil over these years.
Can cooler heads prevail when the temperature is dialed all the way up to 100?
Can we just take a moment and appreciate what a nice thing you just said about me?
Arch rivals at each other's throats.
He's one of the greatest players to ever pick up a golf club.
I've seen him do things with a golf ball that's never been done.
Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson. 2 men enter. 2 men politely sign their scorecard at the end. And this time, they're here to dance.
Have you not seen what I'm going through? I'm not dancing.
Too bad.
I'm sure you've heard of TSN's new streaming service. It's TSN Direct.
Yeah.
Maybe use it to watch the Thanksgiving games in the NFL on Thursday.
But there's another streaming service we also hope you're using. It's our service, Jay and Dan Direct.
Yep.
It's been a huge hit. Let's see what shows we're offering this week, Dan. First up, it's the new Totally Rad skateboarding show, Producer G-Bone Skater Cry. G-Bone will take you from half pipes to the streets to show off his sick moves. Will he skate or will he fall down in his warm, woolly cardigan and cry? It's the crying one for sure. Producer G-Bone Skater Cry. It's the television show that'll have your kids saying, "What's television?"
Next, it's literally no reservations with Rod Smith. This culinary travel show follows Rod Smith as he has an impossible time trying to get into restaurants because he made literally no reservations. Watch him look at the menu while he stands by the front door. See him ask the waitress how much longer she thinks it'll be, and then watch him leave and go to a drive-through restaurant. It happens every time. Make some reservations.
And finally, it's the next installment of the popular Purge franchise of movies, The Purge, Dan's Closet. This nightmare-inducing film sees Dan O'Toole try to clean out his office closet. Old shoes, the fattest ties you've ever seen, and a nude painting of himself he had commissioned. It's the movie critics are calling not as violent as The Purge, but definitely as disturbing. It's all coming up on Jay and Dan Direct. And we should point out our producer G-Bone showed up at work this week with that hat turned backwards, and we immediately all wondered if he was going through a midlife crisis and was trying to become the next Tony Hawk.
But here's the thing. It completely changed him.
Yeah, I gotta say, it really suited G-Bone.
His don't give a blank level was like at an all-time high. He was
and
like,
he was riding
whatever.
He was riding a skateboard around the studio. He was doing ollies.
I think he pushed a camera person.
Yeah, he shoved cameraman Glenn.
You blew it to where we point out our errors. We didn't really make any. We just want to clarify something. During that Peter O'Pete's goal by Nick Robertson, I said, I think he got a hat trick. He did get a hat trick and 2 assists for the Petes.
What a game. They won 8-2, I think. 8-2.
And in that, you were doing the Bears game.
Yes.
I said the guy who's dressed as Ditka looked like Jonah Hill. Let's see if I was in fact right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Very
bang on.
much. Wow.
Big time.
That is Jonah Hill.
Okay.
Yeah, Jonah Hill would be a good Ditka in a movie about Ditka. Also, it is cameraman Glenn's birthday today. Cameraman Glenn's birthday, and so we have some footage here. Sarita went and got him a cake, and how nice is this? This is all wonderful. We were all there. We were singing him happy birthday. There's Jamie, our director. Dan went to the toilet and missed everything. But he
I went
came
to
back.
get that bag of chips I've got in my hand. And producer Tim's like, now's the time. Let's not include Dan in celebrating Glenn's birthday. And he brought it out then.
And you're pretty upset about that.
I was.
And if you're in Edmonton on Friday night, Dan and Kate Burness will be hosting the CFL Gala. Going to be an amazing show.
You're not...
I can't make it. Okay. I'm going to miss my flight. I'm definitely drooling at this time. Tip with it.
Can't hear what you said because you're on the other side of the TV. That's not how TV works yet.
Big scoop here.
Here we go. Brisson on the line.
Break it right here with us.
No.
No. Okay. but the answer is the last place team in the, I never get my sides right. Last place team in these, the Pittsburgh Penguins.